Hari Om, I am Sumedha Kumar, standing here before all of you to share one of my amazing experiences Aniruddha Bapu has bestowed on me. We've always heard there's no sorrow on earth that the heavens cannot solve. And for all our Bapu devotees, our heaven is here at the feet of Sadguru Aniruddha Bapu. There is no sorrow on earth that our Sadguru Aniruddha Bapu cannot solve. Be it health, be it wealth, be it job, be it family issues. He is there to take care of us. Our life changes completely once we surrender ourselves with total faith and trust. He gives the best to us then. December 1909, we were drawn to Aniruddha Bapu, and our lives changed since then. All the positivity in life started to flow in, and the negativity from our lives started to flow out of our lives, and life became beautiful. With each day, our love for Bapu, by his grace, grew more stronger and stronger, and Bapu and Bapu's activities became the cause of our existence. Somewhere around February 2002, Bapu announced the commencement of disaster management course, which was completed by the candidates who appeared for the disaster management course, and there was a 3 hours written examination that concluded the course. It was a complete 3-hour written examination. And after we completed our written examination, one day Dr. Jayesha, the director of Aniruddha's Disaster Academy, called for a meeting on the 5th floor of Happy Home. The meeting was on, all were sitting like we all present here now, and suddenly we saw Dr. Jayesha standing up. We turned back to see why did Jayesha stand up, and there we find Bapu standing at the door. We were all so thrilled to see him with so close quarters, because since then, last 2 years, we were coming to Bapu and standing in the queues for long hours, just waiting to have a glance of him, talk to him, just see him and talk to him. But by the time our number, we are in front of Bapu, before I could see him, before I could blink my eyes, I had to move ahead in the queue. The crowd used to be so much. I would always wonder, did Bapu hear my prayers? Did Bapu know that I have come? I always was left with the slightest doubt, though knowing he is the ultimate, he is omnipresent, he can understand everything. But somewhere in my heart, this feeling was always there. And that day, I could see Bapu standing so close. I was just staring at him, just gazing at him, just admiring him. I had never seen him at so close quarters. And Bapu addresses to the class and says, "So are you all prepared well? I am going to be a very strict examiner. I am going to correct your papers very strictly. Why? Because if you think you all are prepared, your enemies are double ready than what you think your preparations are." And then suddenly looking at me down, sitting in the first line there, he calls me, "Sumedha, Dushman Gambhirach Gambhir." What Gambhir? I didn't understand a word. My name uttered by this lord of mine, Sumedha, first name, he is addressing me. I froze. I couldn't understand what's happening to me. Kaun sa Dushman? What is meaning? Dushman Gambhirach Gambhir, meaning the enemy is very aggressive and formidable. I did not understand anything. I was in a trance. I didn't want to understand who is the enemy, what is he doing, are we prepared, are we not prepared. I was just happy. I was in a trance. I was in a bliss. Oh, my Bapu knows me. All this while I was having a doubt, does he ever know me? Does he even talk to me? Doesn't even hear me? And here he is calling me my first name, and he is saying, "Sumedha, Dushman Gambhirach Gambhir." On the way back home, when I was coming back to my normal state, it struck me, what was he talking about? Dushman, the enemies, who is going to be very serious, very aggressive. Oh, maybe that is why he's introduced disaster management program, because he knows what's going to come ahead. There's going to be a war, maybe there's going to be riots, the people are going to attack. So probably that is why he is preparing us with the disaster management program. Little did I know the enemy has already attacked me within. June, this was February 2002, 2nd June 2002, I cannot forget this day in my life. We were expecting the seasonal rains. It was very hot and humid, very sultry. So the sleep in the night was not complete. And just wiping my sweat around my left side, I felt a big jelly-like lump onto my left breast. And within no moment, I lost all my sleep. I knew what it was. How? You might wonder. Because we ladies have been reading so many magazines, there are so many awareness programs to have self-examination and be on the alert if you find any such signs and symptoms on your body. Yes, I knew what it was, because it was not like any other lump or a boil that crops up on the body. It was something different, something very different, very soft, very jelly, like a size of a marble. I knew what was in store for me. I was just waiting for the day to begin so that I run to Suchit Dada. As we all know, whenever we are in despair, our roads of despair and helplessness all end at Dada's feet. I went to Dada in the morning. I did not tell anybody anything in my house. I did not share this with anything what's happening to me. I just went straight to Dada. I told him what it was. Dada examined and immediately gave me a chit recommending me to Dr. Badwe in Tata Hospital, and also gave me a number of our volunteer, Sumedhaveera Kumar, and he told me she's available there and she'll help you, but call her after 10 p.m. in the night. She'll be available only then for you at that time. I come back home. Believe me, I didn't feel anything. After entering Dada's chamber, after he examining me, he giving me the letter recommending me to Tata Hospital, but somehow I was not understanding. I was immune to all that was happening to me. This is again his Leela, how he performs. Okay, I come back home, we finish dinner, and after just before retiring to bed, we sit as a family and chat. I told my husband, do you know what happened today? I went to Dada. He said, yes. What happened? Whom did you take today? Because till then, anybody we would find who is having any problem, be it health, wealth, job, family issues, anything, we would just tell them, come with us to Dada and your problems will end. I told him, no, today it was my turn. And I told him the entire episode. He got nervous. He said, immediately call Jyoti Gowde. It was past 10. We called her up. And she told me, it was a Monday. She told me, please come on Wednesday to Tata Hospital. Dr. Badwe's OPD is on at that time, because I do not want you to be examined by any of the junior doctors. I want you to be examined, and Dr. Badwe is Bapu's friend also. So you come on Wednesday morning. Now the next hurdle and the problem we had was, my husband was traveling on the same day on Wednesday morning, and he had a very big seminar to attend. For months he has been preparing, and it was a very, very crucial seminar for his career. Now he was nervous as to what to do. He postponed his flight from morning to the evening flight. He said, no, we'll go first thing in the morning to the Tata Hospital. We reached Tata Hospital on Wednesday to see the sad plight in the hospital. All types of cancer patients. This prarabdha does not spare any age, creed, caste or gender. It was like I was in hell. The plight of patients there all around me, be it a small infant to the elderly, most elderly patient, it was so depressing. Meanwhile, Dr. Badwe calls us inside. he takes a fine needle aspiration test where the fluid is removed and sent for biopsy, and he tells me it's going to take 15 days for the results to come, so you need not worry about it at all. And believe me, till then, like I told you earlier, I was immune to what was happening to me. It was like Dada had already injected me with an anesthesia. I was not knowing what was happening to me. My husband had to take a flight and fly that evening. It was a Wednesday evening. He flew back to his job, his seminar that he had to conduct, and next day was a Thursday, the pravachan day, and for the second pravachan, after it got over in the night at around 11:30, as we were moving out, snailing ourselves out of the grounds, I saw Suchit Dada walking towards me and coming. As a mark of respect, I walked towards him and he said, Sumedha, just wait here for 10 minutes, I need to talk to you. Till then, believe me, I did not know what was in store for me. Neither I had the slightest, wildest thought of it. I had totally forgotten the entire episode, last 3-4 days, what I had undergone. Believe me, it was nothing. It had to begin. And Dada comes after 10 minutes and tells me, please pay attention. Yesterday, previous day, Wednesday, Dr. Badwe telling me that it's going to take 14 days for your results to come. And here, Dada at the ground telling me, your reports were on my table today afternoon and they are not good. It's grade 3 cancer. Breast cancer, grade 3. But you need not worry. I am there with you. Like a father, like a brother, like a friend. He supported me, and his words, I am there with you. Believe me, nothing happened to me even then. And surprisingly, my reply to him was, Dada, why should I worry? It's up to, once I've surrendered myself at your feet, you have to decide to save me or slay me. It's up to you. Believe me, it's not me, nor my words. I am sure 10 minutes before, Dada said, wait here, I want to come and talk to you. It was his injection of fearlessness, of confidence, of positivity that he injected to me 10 minutes before, and he came back and he announced this news to me. Nothing happened to me. I stayed calm because I was under the anesthesia injected to me by my Dada. I go back home, I'm all alone, my husband is traveling. When I see my daughter sleeping, that's the time I came to senses. That's the time I realized, oh my God, cancer means what? I don't know how much I will be able to see her more. Dada has promised, we are all normal mortals, we are not saints. Somewhere this thought came, and immediately I was reminded, I am there with you. And I said, no. Now whatever happens, if he decides to even slay me, I am going to die only with his decision, not with my prarabdha and my kal. I am going to fight it out, Bapu. I know you are there with me. Next day, Dada calls me to the clinic and he tells me, you got to go and take a mammography, because he wanted my mammography and other test reports to support the investigation of the biopsy report that Tata Hospital had given. And he told me on Friday, when I go to the clinic, I'm sorry, on Thursday itself on the ground, he tells me, you come to see me at the clinic tomorrow, you're getting admitted on Monday and you're getting operated on Tuesday. Now I was puzzled. My husband is traveling, I'm all alone at home, it's cancer, I have to get admitted to Tata Hospital, I need my husband around me, how am I going to do this? And I know it's an important seminar for him, it's very, very important for him to attend that. I didn't want to disturb him. I said, okay, let's see, if he has brought me so far, he will even take me through this. Next day I go to clinic, I get, Dada tells me to take a mammography. Next day my husband asked me, as out of practice in our family, every Thursday whoever is out of Mumbai rings up from wherever in the corner of the world he or she is, calls up and asks, what did Bapu say today for pravachan? This was a normal and is a normal practice even today in our family. As usual, he calls up in the night and he tells me, you went for the pravachan? I said yes. What did Bapu say? Fine, Bapu said this and Dada said this. Now he was silent at the other end. He said, okay, first thing you go, take a mammography tomorrow and immediately give me a call. What is the result going to be? I said, okay. I didn't tell him a word that Dada has told it is cancer, because I did not want to disturb him. I go next day, take a mammography, and the mammography was so difficult to take that the doctor took 3 times, and finally she gave a report saying highly susceptible of cancer. She could find glands even in my armpit that had spread. The breast lump had also spread to my armpits. There were 3 glands that were infected. And this was a report. As soon as I get out of the mammography clinic, my husband calls me. What is it? I didn't want to tell him even then. I read somewhere in between the lines, there are some fibroid glands, benign. If they are benign, he asked me, then why is Dada insisting to get operated on Monday, get admitted on Monday and get operated on Tuesday? What is the hurry? You tell Dada, let my husband come back, it's benign, we'll get it operated, but let us wait, let him come back. How much more could I hide from him? And he understood I was hiding. He had learnt it long back. He says, I know what the truth is. The fact that Dada said, the minute you told me I have to be admitted on Monday, I was sure what it is, otherwise Dada would not hurry like this. Now I wanted to hear from you, you better read the correct report. Then I tell him, yes, it is cancer. He takes the next flight and flies back, and Monday we go to Tata Hospital. Just to stand there in the ocean of patients where the call is so merciless, so merciless. We are waiting to get admitted. We finish all our prerequisite tests for the operation that is required, and just to come to know that the beds are not available. They tell me it's going to be available only after 3 months. The waiting period is for 3 months. Now cancer is such a disease, it multiplies into, cancer cells multiplies into thousands and millions every second. And here Dada is expressing such urgency to get me operated immediately, and the hospital is telling me there is no bed available. My husband and me don't know what to do next, standing in the corner in the midst of the ocean of patients and miseries all around us, not knowing what to do. Suddenly we see Dr. Badwe pass by and we greet him, Hari Om doctor. See how the word Hari Om, the magic works. He immediately stops, turns back, looks at us and says, what are you doing here? I want you to be admitted. I am going to operate to you on tomorrow. I said, the doctor, there is no bed available. How is it possible? You go and talk to my secretary, tell her I want you to operate tomorrow on you, and she need to make arrangements for you. This is the magic of Hari Om, which Bapu has given us. We do not even realize how it works and washes us in. We go to the secretary, we talk to her, she makes a couple of phone calls, and in 10 minutes she tells us, your bed is ready, please move to the ward. I get admitted, next day I am operated. The misery, like I told you, the state of affairs in the hospital is so bad, and the breast cancer is, I think, the safest where no organs are involved. At least luckily, by Bapu's grace for me, no other organs involved, but it had spread to 3 glands under my armpit. My glands were removed. Actually, this hand is only for show. I am not supposed to have blood test on this, blood pressure tested on this. Actually, I am not even supposed to wear bangles and rings, but here I am wearing them. It's all because of His grace. I am not supposed to get any bruises on it, any cuts on it, carry heavy weight on this hand, because the glands are removed. the hand can get inflamed, and a daily exercise of 100 lifts I have to do, because even if you note carefully, even when I stitch my dresses, this sleeve has to be a little loose because there is a little swelling on this hand compared to my normal other hand. This hand being operated, my ribs being punctured with a needle and a tube draining connected to a tumbler. You know, we've heard stories from rags to riches. We've heard, oh, so and so from rags to riches, he's prospered so much. But here I found myself from riches to rags. Why? Because I couldn't even dress up properly. My dress gown was something like the beggars on the roadway. I had to wear that. I had a begging tumbler left in my hand. Why? Only because of my sins and my prarabdha. And the needle punctured was so painful. I couldn't even move right or left. I had to be very stiff. Because of it, my entire spine, my back had gone stiff and added more pain to my suffering. 3-4 days passed. I had to just sit like this. My back was unbearable. The pain was unbearable. I couldn't even cry. It was so bad. Calling to Bapu, Om Mana Samarthadata Shri Aniruddhaya Nama, the Tarak mantra, I could not chant. The pain was so severe, my tongue couldn't move. My energy was down. I wanted to chant his name. I wanted to call him. I could not call him. So I beg you, my friends, this is a time when your mind and body is healthy. Please chant as much as you can, because we never know when we'll have to benefit the fruit of these chants in our lives. I couldn't chant his name. For me, in my mind, I'm calling him Bapu Mai Dada, Mere Bapu Mai Dada. This became my mantra. I couldn't do anything. My tears rolling down, could not bear. My husband suggested I turn to my right side, the non-operated side, so that it will ease me of the pain. I snapped back at him. I was in pain. I didn't want anybody's advice. I told him, you think if I could do it, I would have not done it? He was upset. He was helpless. He could not do anything. He called up Dr. Badwe. He said, please increase the painkillers, add in the sleeping pills. That is the only way we can handle her till the needle is removed. And the needle was to be removed only after 15 days. This was only the 3rd day. I had a long way to go. My husband immediately gave me the extra painkillers, the sleeping pill, and in a short while the medicines worked its charm on me and I was lulled to sleep. Only to realize somewhere in the middle of my sleep, in my sedated state, that I am being pulled down to my right side, and out of fear that is going to give me a lot of pain, I screaming in protest, no, 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 before I could realize I am already turned to my right. I was sure my husband, he's played tricks with me, taken advantage of the sedated state, because he wanted me to be relieved of the pain. He wanted me to turn right so that my back is relieved of the pain. Now after being turned to my right, I said, okay, fine, I'm fine. Let me be so. Let me not move. It's okay. No pain. I twisted my neck a little to find out if my husband is played this to save me from the pain. To my surprise, I find he's turned towards the wall and he's sleeping. He would sleep on the floor, because even if he's sleeping next to me on the bed, he turns with the slightest jerk, the needle pricks me even harder. So he would sleep on the floor. I said, okay, fine. Now I'm sleeping onto the right. It's okay. It's going to give me relief. Let it be so. The medicines were working on me. I went back to sleep again, only to get up again with more pain and shivers on my body. It so happened that when I was turned to my right, It did not even occur to me, how did I turn when my husband is sleeping down, he is fast asleep, how did I take a turn onto the right side, though I had felt somebody holding my hand and pulling me to the right. But I was in a sedated state, this much awareness, alertness in my mind was not there, and when I was woken up again feeling shivering, feeling cold, I realized when I was turned onto my right, the blanket covering me moved me and my legs were bare. It had started raining by then, the windows were open, the fan was on, and I was woken up with a cold, freezing drizzle on my feet. Now I was helpless once again. What do? I can't move. If I move an inch, I am going to be in severe pain. I didn't want to call my husband because the entire day he would serve me so much. He's sleeping tight, sound sleep. I didn't want to disturb him and call him. I said, it's okay. Whom will I call in this moment of despair other than this darling father, this loving father, Bapu, Bapu. I have everything in my house, all the comfort in life, all the medical attention given to me. But in this moment, I was absolutely helpless. I was having nothing on me, no help on me. I couldn't cry to anybody other than Bapu, Bapu, Bapu. Chanting his name, I did not know when I fell asleep again. Again to be woken up by a touch of the blanket on my body. I felt the sensation that somebody has covered my body. I was sure again my husband has not slept well. He's got up again to check and he's found me, my body bare to the open cold breeze. He's covered me. Again to thank him, when I turned back my neck just to see, this time I found him snoring loudly and fast asleep. That's the time all my sedation was out. I was aware, I was clear. Who is it? My house is locked. My windows are grilled. Nobody to come and help me. Nobody I called out loudly to hear me. In my silent heart, I am calling my Lord. This silent voice which this world cannot hear, He has heard. Wherever He is, He was nowhere else. He was beside me. It was He who covered me. I had my family, I had my friends. Like I told you, I had all my comfort, but of no use to me. The only help and the protection showered on me, bestowed on me, was on my Bapu. Now who is this Bapu? We've been hearing so many things about Bapu. Now after hearing this experience, who is this Bapu who can break through the walls and come, who can cut through the grills and reach to his devotee? How is it possible? This itself speaks who is He. At that moment, I was reminded at the happier meeting when he told me, Sumedha, Dushman Gambhirach Gambhir. But we are never prepared to catch signals in a life. We never want to catch these signals in life. But after such an revealing experience, such an amazing, it turned our life for the best. Today He has given me this new life. I only pray and ask for His blessings that each and every breath of mine is used to chant only His name, and each and every energy of mine is to serve only His feet. I am here to sharing this all with you, what I have experienced. I have experienced death. There were times when I would know maybe tomorrow sunshine I will not see. We've heard about this movie that came, Ye Zindagi Fir Na Milegi Dobara. We've all enjoyed the movie. We've all loved this movie. Yes, because it's all about positivity. Yes, very true. Ye Zindagi Fir Na Milegi Dobara. But here Bapu has proved, Zindagi Fir Mil Sakti Hai Dobara. I got a second chance. Many of our Bapu devotees, many of us have got a second chance to live again, just to even love him even more and to serve him even more. He has promised us, I will never forsake you. He has given this word to us. But when? He will never forsake us. He is holding us. But it is up to us that we hold him tight. We don't leave him and go, because he is the ultimate. And to be with him, to be connected to him, what are we supposed to do? Just the Namswaran. We tell people to do Namswaran. We tell our relatives and friends to do Namswaran. They all feel it is for the old age. We'll do it. We are all busy in this jet life. Who has the time in this jet age? But here we know the Namswaran. He called me in December 99. He got me connected to his feet. He gave me the Namswaran. He got the various jobs done to me, because he knew the dry day is going to come on me. I had no money in my balance. He got it created, my bank balance created, so that he could spend on me. This is our Aniruddha Bapu. This is my experience which he put on me, saved me, gave an experience to my family, reinforced our faith and trust at his feet. I will share one more experience. We were in Hong Kong and my daughter was in her year 13, after which she was to join the university in the UK. In India it's 10+2, but abroad, being the British curriculum, it was 11+2. So she was in her 13, she had a board exams, and one of her papers were drama. And drama was such a subject, it's not that you have to just come on stage and act. Drama included all the script writing, all the dialogue writing, all the stage sets, all the light arrangements, all the costumes that are required, the angle where each character has to stand, the angle of the light that has to fall on them, and a written examination on drama. She had taken these subjects because she had a flair for this subject, and she wanted to join the University of Nottingham, which required the prescribed grades for admission. Not anyone and everyone could be admitted in the university. So this subject could even give her, being her flair, could get an extra A for her to enter the university admissions for the Nottingham. For months together, her exam rehearsals were on, and for the final examination, the examiners from UK were to fly to Hong Kong to take the examinations. And the examination gradings were such that each and every mistake you make on stage, in your performance or in your set or whatever it is, you will be negatively marked. Rather than being given marks, your marks will be deducted. And they were divided into two groups. Even if one of the member from the group goes wrong, the entire group loses their marks. This is the way, the system that works there. She was busy for rehearsals for months together. The last rehearsal day, parents were called to show how the children are performing. Even if anything better could be done with the advices or suggestions given by the parents. We all attended. It was very great. We were very happy and proud of her. She was playing the role of an old man, a Shakespeare's play, where she was the honest old guard of the king. And being old, and you know how the Shakespeare's plays are, hail the king, and they scream on the top of their voice. All the dialogue deliveries are not subtle, they are loud. From the bottom of the heart or the stomach, they have to scream their voice out. She comes home after the rehearsal. Next day afternoon, 3 p.m. is her examination. She comes home with a very bad throat. Why? Because last 1 month she has been shouting, and being the last rehearsal, the teacher said, put in your best, put in your last best energy, and she did it, and she came back home with a bad throat. Hardly, barely we could hear her voice. I gave her warm water to gargle, salt water to gargle. Said, don't worry, pray to Bapu, things will be fine. Next day morning, she comes out of her bedroom, talking to me in actions. She cannot speak. Her voice cannot be heard. She cannot speak. It's not coming out. And we all nervous, more than me, more than us. She is nervous. More so, she's saying, Ma, I must have sinned somewhere where Bapu is giving me such a punishment. But what have my friends done? My group is going to lose marks. She ran to the Padukas. She prayed to Bapu, for whatever sin I have done, punish me, Lord. But see that my friends are not suffering because of my mistakes. Please, for their sake, help me out, bail me out of this situation. I said, you first call your teacher, inform that you cannot speak, your voice is not coming out. And it's a board exam. The examiners are already there. She talks to the teacher says, go to the medical doctor, get the recommendation, medical certificate proving that your state is genuine. And she suggested there is some shot that is available which can open your throat, your voice for some time. You go and get that treatment and come. We immediately run to the doctor. Ashok my husband is already in the office. The doctor gives her the certificate and gives her a injection. He says for some time your voice will open up slowly. It's laryngitis, severe laryngitis, and your voice will open up for some time. It will help you for your exam. She runs from the clinic to the school. I tell her, keep me informed because as a mother I am worried. She goes to the school. I come back home every hour trying to call her, but this madam has switched off her phone. She knows mommy is going to be panicky and she is going to disturb me every time asking me how I am. Better switch off the phone. Now she realized that being switched off, I was even more worried as to what's happening with her. What's happening? Time passed by. I didn't know what to do. Call for Bapu. Bapu. I rang up my husband. This is the condition. Stop every work. Pull out the Ramnam book. Start writing the Ramnam book, because nothing else we could do. My husband did just that. Sitting in the office, stopped all his work, put his phone on the hang. No phone calls, just writing Ramnam book, because we could not do anything else. It was her board exam. We required those grades. She required those grades to be admitted in Nottingham University. Or it had to be a compromise going anywhere else. It's 5 p.m. It's 6 p.m. I'm trying her mobile. It's switched off. It's not ringing. I'm worried. Writing Ramnam book with full speed, calling to Bapu, running to the Paduka. Bapu, please. I'm not asking you help for only my child. I'm asking you for help for the full group. What have the others done? We do not know. Help them all. Help them all. It's 7 p.m. It's 8 p.m. Husband is back home from, both of us don't know what to do. Sitting in front of the Padukas, we are just writing the Ramnam book, calling for help to Bapu. 9 o'clock the doorbell rings, because the exam is in the evenings here, because in London it's afternoon and morning there. So the timings are adjusted this way. 9 o'clock she comes back home. I open the door. She is crying bitterly, and she runs to the Padukas, putting her head on the Padukas, holding the Padukas. This girl is crying bitterly, not talking anything. Both of us running behind her. What happened? I thought, all over, finish, everything is over. Now we've got to just face what we are in. I shake her. I ask her what happened. She cannot talk. She's doing thumbs up, Ma. I start crying. What happened? Now you see what this father of ours can do. She switched off her phone. She was in school. Around 3 p.m. the teacher called, come on, let's have one final rehearsal before the show. Put in your best. Again this girl of mine, without realizing my throat is open only for a short while, she screamed her throat out. Teacher clapped a lot, but by the time her turn came for the show in front of the examiners, her throat was flat again, because she blew her throat out for the last final rehearsal day. Now she performed, they were called on the stage, they did their performance. After the performance is over, there's a big applaud, and the examiner is holding the medical certificate and asking, who is this candidate? Let me see, because he could not find out who is the person who is not having a throat voice, having a throat problem. Her teacher came running to her, hugging her tight and lifting her up in the air. Great, great performance. She starts crying more, thinking they are only consoling her. You know what this father of art is? अब पूरे विपरीत सिचुएशन को, पूरी ऑपोजिट सिचुएशन को तुम्हारे लिए एकदम एक्ट बना कैसे सकते हैं दिस लॉर्ड ऑफ आर्स? हाउ कैन ही टर्न द मोस्ट ऑपोजिट and a critical situation to you, absolutely suiting to you aptly. Since hers was an old man's role, since her throat was totally flat, she was screaming on top of her voice. She thought, now this is the last. Isse zyada, how much more can my throat go bad? Let me give it and see what happens. Bapu, I am going to do it. You are going to get it done from me. And this girl of mine, she blows out her throat without realizing what voice is coming out, but whatever voice that came out was just suiting the old husky man of 80-90-year-old. This can be done only by Bapu. And the examiners called her. They said, we couldn't believe, your throat is bad. We thought you are imitating. You are imitating, and we were appreciating that you are imitating an old man's voice. Being a 16-17-year-old girl, you have done well, and she got A+ for that performance. We were expecting an A, he gave her an A+. This is Bapu. This is what Bapu can do for us. We are in Hong Kong, he is in Mumbai. No. He is always with us. He is omnipresent. 24/7. He is serving us. He is serving us. We feel we come here, we serve him. No. Out of each one of our experiences, we will all agree it is his grace. And we pray, Bapu, please keep us at your feet like this always. Hari Om.